Okay, thanks, Sam. Well, now Brad Pitt on the topics of fatherhood, the passage of time, and of course the new movie, which is really getting rave reviews this morning. It's The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. It has been, believe it or not, 16 years since we all first looked up at a movie screen, Thelma and Louise, and said, "Who is that?" Here it was, the first time we saw him, Thelma and Louise, 1991.
And I say, ladies, gentlemen, let's see who wins the prize for keeping their cool. Simon says, everybody down on the floor. Now,
He was skinny, edgy, startling, and possibly new. Flash forward 16 years, and Brad Pitt is now, believe it or not, 43. Ready to embody a world-weary, ravaged man surrounded by enemies, the outlaw Jesse James. Complex and dangerous. A man who was forged on the frontier, the 19th century Missouri plains. As we said, the portrayal has been hailed as a tour de force of acting and psychological insight.
So this mercurial, erratic behavior is coming from this sense of impending doom, this sense of the inevitable end, closing in around him. A man is really wrestling with himself.
I'm trying to imagine how many takes it took out on that frozen tundra. Was it as freezing as it looked?
Yeah, it was, actually. But those are the things that, I guess you got to be a bit of an adventurer to even want to enter the film world, the crew, the cast to work on a film set, especially the ones that travel.
You gave an interview recently in which you talked about the body's not working the same, and you basically earned falling apart.
Yeah, well, I mean, the trade-off is wisdom, and I'll take that any day.
The body's not working the same?
Well, no, it's little things that you notice. You just see it start to break down on the inside.
Come on, don't give me your sad arthritis stories. You're talking to me,
There's nothing sad about it. That's what I'm saying, yeah. See, here's also the problem with doing print interviews. They end up in stone. It's like they're chiseled in there, and they have such weight. And it's prison.
Well, you gonna look inside? It's April Fool's Day, you know. Ain't no joke.
One of the most confounding parts of the movie is that the man who has become a kind of monster is also so tender. As for tenderness in real life, Angelina Jolie says Brad Pitt is an amazing father of the 4 children, always there.
He woke up very, very early this morning and let me sleep in because I had this interview.
That's major.
He was big. Dealing with the 2 girls and bottles and food, which is not easy to do on his own for quite a few hours this morning. So I could rest is just a really great partner, great man.
What's the one thing that surprised you watching her as a mother?
I couldn't sum it up with one thing, but it is a tireless dedication, and somehow you find this endless well of energy. You keep going,
and
it's worth it.
Even if they get you up that early,
which they did.
Yeah,
all in the bed at 5:45.
As you heard yesterday, he said it's a house filled with singing.
Wheels on the bus, and there's 5 monkeys jumping on a bed, moving the head, and no more monkeys jumping on the bed.
That's big on the hit parade.
Yeah, that's a big one. That started about 6:15 this morning.
He says music continues all day. A lot of dancing too.
Yeah, actually, we have. We hope they're not soaking up our moves because they'd be seriously lacking in their future, but we'll get them some proper training. But yeah, there's a lot of dancing around the house. A lot of music time.
We have you dancing, of course.
I don't dance.
I believe you do. We were with him in Africa, where he brought laughter to the faces of children living in the worst poverty in the world. Children who had no idea who he is. Back in his house, he says, after all the dancing, at the end of the day, something more. Tell me about bedtime at the house. Is there a ritual? Does everyone... Because you said one...
Yeah, there's a ritual.
You said one time that your mom... This was one of his first long interviews.
Growing up, we'd have our bedtimes, so the 3 of us siblings would jump in our beds, separate rooms, and we'd all be yelling for her because she'd take turns coming from room to room, right? And we'd just talk for hours sometimes. Just talk. See, this is the problem when you know journalists for years. They
That's true. I am your congressional record of everything you've ever said to me.
But it is true. It was a really special time, a time I valued. And it's that one-on-one time where you really ask the questions, and I want to make sure they have that.
Brad Pitt loving this part of the passage, family, and even the changes that come to all of us.
But no, there's nothing sad about it in the sense that I like it as a reminder that time is fleeting, and this is the inevitable course of everything.
It's a tap on the shoulder.
Yeah, you learn it, you earn a wrinkle, and you earn a line, and I'm proud.
And the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford opens in theaters today.